I am home, I am stitching, I am mostly settled, so it's time for a Flosstube update. So, for anyone who is new, my name is Gothy, my pronouns are they, them. I am a trans, non-binary, queer, disabled stitcher from Australia. I didn't do a February update because I was in another state at the time, and my brain just said no. So here we are. It's now the end of March. Somehow 2 months. And I have a lot to talk about. Not quite as much stitching because I was away for 3 weeks. So I was, running around, going to museums, art galleries. I got a bunch of tattoos done because travel tattoos. I did go to the stitchy retreat. I had my best friend's wedding. There's stuff. There's so much stuff. But we're here. I made it. There was even a goddamn fucking cyclone. A fucking cyclone. Rare, I think the last time that it happened was 50 years ago in that particular area, fucking cyclone. But stitchy stuff, I guess stitchy stuff first. Now I'm trying to remember where I was up to the last time. I know that I need to put my phone on silent. I don't know why the notification on my computer just reminded me to put my phone on silent, but it did. We'll go with it. Let's have a look at my... This is my my stitchy book that I'm trying to get into the habit of using. So you can see there's a lot of X'd out days. Oh my god, that is bright. Okay, it's a lot of X'd out days because that's when I was on the trip and I didn't have this with me, so I wasn't keeping track as well. So February. So February, I was unpicking Sylvanas. I worked on the Minecraft bees, which I will pull out in a moment. Which I started on the 5th. I worked on some little presents. So in February, I did 3 starts and finishes, but they were all small. I'll put photos up because I don't have them. They've been gifted to my partner. They were Valentine's presents. And then because I was packing to go away in this kind of period, oh my gosh, in this period here, I packed away, I get really anxious about traveling and packing and forgetting things, so I like to do it very early. So I ended up actually pulling out the wolf kit because it's a paper pattern, so I don't need my tablet and all that kind of stuff. It's got, it's a kit, so it's got all of its own floss and stuff. I didn't have to worry about having to pack something away. So I actually pulled that out, and worked on that for a couple of days beforehand. I left technically on the 23rd. On the 23rd, I had a concert on in the city, so I booked a hotel in the city near the airport, went to the concert, went back, and then just went over to the airport in the morning. I flew out to Melbourne on the 24th. It really went I say reasonably well. I did have a meltdown because they fucked with my chair a little bit and I thought it was going to be broken. That is unfortunately just part of the process of traveling with a powered wheelchair, or any kind of wheelchair, really. The airlines in Australia are not quite as bad as some of the stuff that I've seen from some of the US ones, but it's still not great. Many anxiety, a few little bits of damage, but nothing major. Thankfully, we avoided that. A couple of meltdowns, but I'm not great with flying. It just happens. But I flew out on the 24th. We got there. I flew back on the 18th. The 18th of March. So I was gone for a significant chunk of time. Yeah, so the first week was in Melbourne. Mostly focused on my best friend's wedding, so, you know, going back and forth, meeting her in person for the first time, because, like, we only know each other sort of online, through, like, we met through WoW and everything. So going to her place, hanging out, having games nights and stuff. Friend cuddles, because that's a thing. Like, you just chill out and watch a movie and just, like, friend cuddle. And then I had Knotfest that first week as well. So we did that in Brisbane, Melbourne, which was actually really good, because the venue that they have it at in Melbourne has a lot of, like, paved areas, so, like, I wasn't just on grass all day, so it was actually really nice. I did, however, get absolutely fucking roasted by the Melbourne sun, to the point where even my lower legs, like my shins, got sunburned, and I have never sunburned my shins before. So I had weird patches of sunburns, like even the backs of my hands had been sunburned. It's mostly gone there now, but I do still have some, like, on my chest and on my legs. It's like, it was patchy as shit too. Which was a time, like 3 days before the wedding. I did also have my nails done, but I have removed them since, because I need to be out of type for work and stuff. There'll be a photo somewhere. I'll put a photo in. It'll be fine. And yeah, I planned the Hens Day. So we went to Melbourne Zoo, and I booked a private tiger, like, behind the scenes tour for us. So we got to meet one of the tigers. His name's Hootan. And, like, we got to see him, like, sort of do some little bits of training and, like, enrichment and stuff like that. And he was just absolutely gorgeous. Like, I fucking love tigers. So that was really cool. And that was also just, like, it was really nice, because, like, it was the bridal party plus one. And then later on in the day, two of the people that used to be in my WoW guild also came along, which, you know, the bride was okay with, so I let it go. But basically, like, because a lot of the people that came to the wedding were people that we've played WoW with, so it was lots of meeting people that I play WoW with in person for the first time. So that was cool as well, just, like, that kind of aspect of it. And then the next day was the wedding. We got her married. It was chaos. Many things went wrong, but we worked around them. We got her down the aisle. Put a ring on it. Like, he put a ring on it, we're done. Like, we're out. And then the next week was me just on my own. They were on their honeymoon and stuff, so I just spent that time in the city, going to museums, going to art galleries and stuff like that. There was a few things I didn't get to see. So there was one that was at the university that was a needlepoint, like, it was called a Stitch, like the exhibit was called Stitch, and it was like a bunch of, like, modern needlework and stuff like that. Didn't get to go in because they had all the signs at the front to say they were open. Their main entrance is up a bunch of stairs, and then it's like, oh, like, you go around the side, you press the button, the door will open, you can get to the lift and go up. Door didn't fucking open. So I'm just like, okay, is it like a thing where, like, they've got to call, like, the button calls someone down, and then they come down and open the door? No one came down. So I was like, okay, like, maybe they're on a lunch break or something, but, like, all the signs are out, like, to say that they're open. I don't know. Tried calling them. Nobody answered, and I was like, okay, try the button again, waited a bit, nobody came down. So I was like, alright, I'm gonna call again, leave a voicemail with my number and everything. They can call me when they're ready to let me in, and then we can just go from there, I guess. And they just never did, so I didn't get to go in and see that one, because they weren't open on Sunday or Monday. And then Tuesday I was flying out. The other one that I missed was they've got, like, a media museum, so it's, like, all, like, movies and stuff like that, movies and TV shows and cinema. This is the same thing. But I just ended up not having the spoons for that on the Sunday. And then Sunday night there was a free concert in the same area that I was going to go to for Peach PRC. And I didn't end up doing that one either, because I was just like, nah, I'm wiped. I just need a rest day. And then Monday was pretty much just resting, prepping for the flight and everything like that, because I know I get a lot of anxiety and stuff. I get the chair ready, I get my bags ready. Trying to Tetris all of my shit into that bag was a time. But also because I had been quite fatigued, because on the Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, the week before, they announced that there was going to be a cyclone going through Brisbane City. And they were just like, oh yeah, like it's going to hit Thursday night / Friday morning. It's going to be a Category 2 cyclone. And it's going directly for Brisbane City, which is exactly where I was flying on Tuesday. So I'm like sitting there and I'm like watching the news, and the cyclone kept delaying. So like it just kept moving like really, really slowly. At one point, like it was coming along, and then it decided to do a little loop on itself and then go on a straight line. Like it just kept delaying. So then it was like, oh no, it's gonna hit late Friday. Oh no, it's gonna hit Saturday. And like at one point, it had gone through like the outer islands just off the Brisbane coast, and then like was just sitting out just outside, not making landfall. For a good like 12 hours. It just decided to just sit there. By that time it had been downgraded to a tropical tropical storm, a low tropical storm, which is good, but it just kept delaying. So like the airports were closed and everything like that. It eventually made landfall, I think like late Saturday, early Sunday. The airports reopened on Sunday afternoon. It's like, I'm checking everything. Like, I'm checking all the flood notices and stuff as well, because I'm thinking, like, there's going to be a bunch of flooding, a bunch of storm damage and stuff. Like, am I going to be able to go to Brisbane? Or am I going to have to cancel? Or, like, come up with another plan? Like, I don't know what the fuck. So I'm, like, checking. Like, flights didn't get cancelled. Everything went ahead. I landed in Brisbane on Tuesday, as planned. And everything just smelled really, really moist and damp. Apparently that is not that different to what it's normally like, but there was quite a lot of like debris and like litter and stuff, like leaf litter and stuff like that everywhere. But for the most part it looks like Brisbane City avoided a lot of the really bad damage. I had less things planned for Brisbane. I did have a tattoo planned for the Wednesday. It was like booked for the Wednesday. But they went into the studio Wednesday morning and they found that the studio was a lot more damaged than they'd been told, so they had to sort of cancel the tattoo until the studio was like safe to work in and stuff, and like hygienic enough to work in. But that ended up happening. We ended up being able to squeeze that in Friday evening. So yeah, but very much a lot of the same thing. I did get my travel tattoos, so I have my Melbourne, that way. This is my Melbourne tattoo. Some of the lines fell out a little bit there, but I'm okay with that. So she goes up, ow. I don't know how audible that one was. We'll find out when I'm editing. I'd planned to have this on my shin, actually, because like I wanted to see what a shin tattoo was going to be like. But because I got sunburn, I couldn't do that. So that's where she went. Like she fits really well, like in the middle of all my other tattoos. So that's one of them. The one that was booked for the Wednesday that we did Friday is the dragonfly. That hand, Gothy, Jesus Christ. So the dragonfly, I finally have my dragonfly tattoo. I'm so, like, I fucking love dragonflies. On the Wednesday, because I checked my messages, there was no messages, so then I got my maps going, I went down to the bus, got on the bus, I used the maps to know when to get off the bus, and my notifications on Instagram were apparently off, so I didn't see that they'd messaged me, like that he'd messaged me, to say like, hey, like there's a problem with the studio, we can't do the tattoo today. So like I got to the store and then I was like, oh, okay, like I got to the studio. On the way back into the city, I started to like sort of panic a little, because like I prepare for a tattoo. So it's like, no, like my brain has slotted itself in to be tattooed. So I ended up going to the tattoo studio that I went to the last time I was in Brisbane, because I know where it is, I know it's wheelchair accessible, they're still there. So I ended up booking in another tattoo for Thursday with this place. And it's on my leg, so I can't show you that one. I'll put a photo up, but it's like, it's just out of one of the artist's flash books. She had like this little bug with a big skull on it, and it's super cute. So I put in that one just in case we couldn't make the dragonfly one work, because they didn't know when the studio was going to be fixed and everything. So it's just like, all right, let's just do this. So I got the bug tattoo, and like on the Wednesday, I was like just sort of wandering around. I did some shopping and stuff. I bought some dice. I have to show my dice because I got dice, and then I was wandering around, and there were like a lot of really big dragonflies that were just sort of like flying around. So like I kept seeing them fly over me and stuff, and I was like, oh, the dragonflies, like that's a sign, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. And then that night I got a message from the tattoo artist, be like, yeah, like I can squeeze you in on Friday. Everything's getting fixed at the moment, like / tomorrow, so like we can do it Friday. And I was like, perfect, done. Again, in Brisbane, I went to a couple of art galleries, and I went to the museum. I went to 2 museums. One of them had like a photography exhibit. One of them had ancient Egypt, and they also just have like a really nice collection of taxidermy, including a giant squid, which I love. And yeah, so I did that. I did the aquarium in Melbourne as well. So from the aquarium, because I mean I have to get things when I go places. So the jellyfish, because the aquarium they don't just have like jellyfish, they have a jellyfish lab, and they have a whole bunch of different types of jellyfish and stuff, and I could live there. And I got a Goth axolotl because of course I did. And then from the zoo, I got little red panda. Because they didn't have any little tigers that I liked, and I got little bat too. From the aquarium as well, I added to my rubber duck collection. I don't know if I've shown it before. I like weird rubber ducks that aren't rubber ducks. It's a thing. And then from the museum, I got a Cleopatra duck. I did also get, it's up there, I did also get like a little canopic jar, which made it home. I'm so happy. And then I also got, because like I was doing some random shopping and stuff, I got like Pokemon blind boxes. So like they have, like I found a bunch of like anime stores and stuff, and there were a bunch of those. So I got a couple of those. They're on the shelf though, so I'm not gonna go and get them. But my dice, I have my first liquid core dice. I don't have any liquid core ones yet, but these ones are blue, they're sharp edge, and of course they're not going to focus for me. I don't know if I can get them. Oh, kind of. No, wrong way. I am so directionally challenged. They're not going to focus. Okay. I tried doing the influencer thing, it's not working. They have little, like the cores on them, have a skull and some roses on them. So like, the skull and the roses keep spinning after you use them. They're really cool. And then I got another D20. And I have an idea about making a little special box for this from the retreat, which I'll share in a moment, but this one is glittery. You can see the glitter falling. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm a dice goblin. I bought dice for my partner. I found like a blind box gemstone dice for them, which ended up being a lot cooler than I thought, because like I found really cool dinosaur dice for my Metamor. And I was trying to find cool dice for my partner as well, but like I couldn't find anything that was really quite them. So I got like these like a D&D gemstone dice blind box thing, and like they ended up being really cool. So they were happy with that. I also found like there's a store chain called Senpai.js. They do a lot of really cool clothes. My partner really likes them. So they have like these little vinyl stickers. There's a Sailor Moon one on the back of my chair now. But I got this one for me and this one for me, and I got a couple for them as well. I also got them a Baby Metal shirt from Knotfest. So like I got presents for people. I couldn't, some of the stuff that I found for my housemate I couldn't bring back with me, so I didn't get it. So like I found like really cool like mushrooms, like fake felted mushrooms and stuff like that in little jars and stuff that were really cute. But I didn't like my chances of bringing this back. I got myself some books. So that one, this one which I'm reading, it's a dark, yeah, it says it right on the front, it's dark fantasy romance. It's slow burn, but it's pretty good so far. Like, I'm enjoying it. I'm about halfway through. I read most of that on the plane back to Sydney. Also found this one. And then this one I bought from one of the art galleries. It's a colouring book, but it's dragonflies. I have to. If it's dragonflies, like, it's mandatory. And, like, they're really pretty too. So, yeah. Got those. I also got myself, because they were not, I looked for Stitchy stores, but like we don't have a lot of like actual Stitchy stores in Australia, and not close to most of the cities. In Melbourne there is a Morrison Sons that is accessible. We do also have a Morrison Sons in Sydney, but it is not accessible, so I can't go in there. But they had this. It's a tapestry kit rather than cross-stitching. I thought it was $230, but I was like, you know what? I've got some spending money. My lighting just went really weird there. I've got some spending money. It'll be fine. And then it's actually like half price. So actually it was less than half price by the time I actually got it. So we have a new craft to try. And I'm going to put that over here. I need to pull that out too, because I have a finish. There's stuff everywhere. And then we had the retreat. yeah, the Stitchy retreat. It was good. I sat at one of the smaller tables, so like not as many people. But it was really good, because like I sat with really good people. Sadie was there, who I'll link as well. Absolutely fucking lovely. It was really cool to meet one of my shadow stitches in person. Like that was awesome. Unfortunately, Nora had to cancel, so she wasn't there. But it was also just really cool to see all of the mirrors and stuff. I took no videos, no footage. I decided to just sit and stitch and start new projects. So I do have 2 new starts on mirrors from the retreat. I have a little bit of progress on the one that I'd started before the retreat as well on Eva, which I'll pull out and we'll go through that. I have bits of stash from the retreat, and then I also have some stash that arrived here while I was gone as well. But our like sort of retreat favors was this box. It was also meant to have a fairy door, but they just didn't arrive, so we're just sort of waiting to see if they do. But I'm kind of okay with this, because like I can just do my own little fairy door if I decide to take on another project. And we've got all the stuff that we got. So, and that is the thing that I won, but we've got like little tape measure and like, yeah, push the middle. A whole bunch of floss drops that are really cute, and they're like that one, and the raccoon in the fairy dress, and then there's also the squirrel. There's 2 squirrels, yeah. Little thing of beads, and they're like holographic. They're big chunky Mill Hill beads. With a little key. Got the one with a little paw in it because it looks like a cat paw. But like you could, I mean, you could probably stitch something tiny to put in there and put a magnet in it. Like, you've got options. A hunk of beeswax, but also the bee is so cute. I'm gonna put that bee somewhere. Little needle threader. A beaded needle threader. Obviously, I haven't done anything with these yet. Counting pins. I got the green ones, because of course I did. Little necklace. It says Once Upon a Time. Because this is all in the theme of the retreat design that we got, which I'll pull out. It's in the other section. I also won these. I say as I pull it out of the box. Okay, so these are Kohanas. Apparently they're quite sought after. And quite popular, but they're like these little, they're so fucking cute. They're like little tiny baby scissors. And apparently they're like handmade and stuff, but like they have an ADHD jingle. Like, it's a stim. Yeah. But they're really cute. I ended up putting them in this box because I do already have travel scissors. But yeah, I won those. So that goes back over there. Those there. That is haul, which I'll get to. I'll do that first. I'm never prepared. So that I technically got after. So this was the project bag that I bought, and I've just kind of shoved everything in there. Because I like pumpkins, and I like it. So at the retreat, they had a bunch of out of print patterns, and there was one that I was looking at. It's $250 at the retreat. Then, like, someone posted that someone that I know from the Color Cascade retreats that I've been to previously had posted a whole bunch of out of print mirrors in a stash unload group. I got it for $30. So I now have a copy of Very Idle, a deal. That is just not going to focus. Yeah. Because that was actually the first time I'd actually really looked at it at the retreat. So the $250 pattern I got for $30. Because one of the ones that I got at the retreat is this one, which is Muka. Again, another one that I'd sort of seen it online. I'd never really looked at it. My camera's just going to do that every time and then just be weird with the lighting, isn't it? I promise my face is not actually that red. It just, look, it's a time. Is it really a YouTube video of mine if there's not a weird lighting thing or a weird camera thing? But I found these, and like this is the first time that I'd seen this one really detailed. And I was just like, yeah, no, I've got to get this one. So now there's a couple others that are in the same kind of style that I'm also going to get at some point. But I also got the Snow Maiden. Why? You just don't want to focus on anything. There we go. Yeah, focus. So my plan is, because she's also got like that, she's got like that white grey skin palette. I'm going to do her a really dark fabric, and I kind of want, like, I want her to stand out on it, but I also want her to kind of look like a ghoul, because, like, she's kind of creepy looking, and, like, I can fuck with that. I also got stuck in the bag. I need to try and just, like, I'm just going to hide the bulk of the pattern, but I got a, oops. There's the pattern from the mirror retreat last year. There was some left, so I grabbed one. And then this is the retreat design. It is hand-drawn, so it's not actually like a digital pattern. So we just have, this is the cover photo. Someone in the retreat group has already stitched it. But yeah, this is the retreat design. So I got that. Did I get... I'm just gonna... It's gonna be lots of plastic noises. I should have I should have planned this. Big surprise, I didn't. Okay, so retreat bag is empty. That is for receipt. I don't need to know that. I didn't actually spend that much money at the retreat because I didn't buy that $250 pattern. I was like, I'm in an RNet all weekend, and then I was like, no, I shouldn't. That's a lot of money for a pattern. And a good thing I didn't. I had a Cottage Garden Threads order that I made during the virtual retreat on Australia Day weekend, Invasion Day weekend, and that arrived while I was gone. So I got Zelda's Heart by Bojo Stitches. This came with all of the flosses as well, but I put all the flosses away, so it's just all the Cottage Garden flosses for that. I also got some more Quirky Quakers, so I got the frog and the floss, and I got the octopus and the floss for that as well. So the flosses have all been put away because I did some of that over the last couple of days. And then I had 2 orders from Color Cascades because I got the replacement Vampire fabric for Sylvanas, so that I can actually restart that. Oh god, the plastic noises. I can just stay down there. So yeah, this is Vampire. This is 18 count. So this is, it's showing more pink. Yeah, that's showing a lot brighter than it actually is. It is very dark. It's a much darker mottled red. It's lovely. But that's going to be Sylvanas on this one. It's showing so pink. I hate it. I hate it. It's not that pink. It really isn't. But because I did that, I also did some, like, pre-done fabrics. I don't know which ones came in which order, because they're just here now. But I also got a piece of ghoul, which is not... I'm going to take these all out of the bags. So we're going to have plastic noises. Does that show a bit better? Oh, not really. I need to sort this, like, lighting and stuff out, but this is a bigger piece of ghoul, which is... It's green, it's not blue. It's green and black. It is kind of like a teal green. Like a... It's got a slight teal shade to it that's white showing as blue, but it is a green. So, that's ghoul. This one is Athena. So this is one of the new... So, there's a new mythology collection. And these are all ice dyes based off, like, mythological. So this one is, like, super modeled because it's an ice dye. So that's Athena. That's 18 count. The other one is 14 count. Need to be careful not to knock my drink over. This one is hidden. Purple haze. So it's lighter than it's showing, but it's like a light purple with a slightly darker purple. On 18 count. Emerald City. This is a mist dye. So this one is a lot bluer than it normally comes out. That's on opal. It's a 14 count. That one's a special one. This is Sage. So it's darker than what it's showing, but this is also an opal on 18 count. And then this one is Witch's Forest. This one was cut a little bit short, so it went into the sort of mistake pile kind of thing. So I bought it. It's just a bunch of mottled greens. This one is a special piece because I got a message from Tammy from Color Cascades just before she released this one, because she's like, oh yeah, by the way, I've named a fabric after you. So this is Goth, and it is not showing. It is like this really gorgeous lime green with like these hints of like a darker foresty green. in the middle, like throughout it. It's not, oh, she's sort of showing. I look super red, but it's sort of, yeah. There's a fabric named after me. Yeah, look, I maybe cried. I maybe cried. But yeah, that's a fabric named after me, so I had to get a big piece. Because that's what I do. So that's my haul. Apart from the cottage garden flosses, which I've already, like I said, I've already put those away. I don't think there's anything else. Just trying to think. Like, I really didn't do a lot of shopping. I mostly just... There's still a lot of photos I have to edit, because, like, I'm still going through the wedding photos, because I did the wedding photos as well. So I'm editing a lot of those. I had a panic attack about it, because, like, I've never photographed a wedding before, so I was just like, oh my god, like, I don't know if these are good enough. I don't know, like, if I fuck these up and stuff, because I've also discovered one of the things with the mirrorless camera, because it's got an electronic shutter, you can turn the shutter sounds off. However, as I've discovered, if you do that, because you want the quiet photography, you can't do that under LED lighting, because it flickers. And the electronic shutter shuts, and, like, it does that at the same rate as the flicker, as, like, the LEDs, because that's what they do, the LEDs flicker. They do it at the same rate, so you get streaks and lines through your photos. As soon as I turn that fucker off, no more fucking streaks. And I was like, how fucking dare you? So I've had to be, like, I've been having to edit out a lot of that from the wedding photos for the reception, because we were indoors. But the photos that I've done so far, I've sent to the bride, and she's over the moon with them, so I didn't need to have a panic attack about it, but I did. It's a lot of pressure. This is why I don't do wedding photography. But yeah, because I've been doing the wedding photos, I haven't started on the rest of them yet. I'll have them eventually. Stitching wise, like I said, I pulled out the wolf kit. I've got a decent amount of progress on it, actually, because I also did some stitching on it for a couple of days when I got back. I've got 4 whip goes that I've got to catch up on for February and March, and then the numbers have been called for April, so I've got 6 in the next couple of days. I still have to start Stitch for Pride, because I haven't. I've picked a fabric, I haven't started it. So that's also on my list for April to do. But I did finish something while I was in Brisbane. So I finished the Midnight Nature Walk. This is by Sprouting Lupin. It's gonna focus. I've just put this on a piece of Silver Springs. Hindsight, I could have put it a lot lower down and done something else on this, but I can still probably just, like, take some of those edges off and stuff, but I'm not fussed. This is one of my go-to fabrics, so I have a whole bunch of it. But, I mean, look, it's a dragonfly. I'm not obsessed. You can't tell that I fucking love dragonflies. But also, I love that, like, the colours that really ended up popping. People on dirt bikes. The colours that really ended up popping are, like, the pink and the blue and the yellow. Because there's the colours of the pansexual pride flag. So, like, it's also unintentionally a pen project, and I'm okay with that. So I did that. I've got one of my whip go calls out at the moment. I've done like 600 stitches onto it. It's a lot of, what I'm doing is a lot of confetti though, so it doesn't look like a whole bunch. So this is Almost Time. It's charted by Tilton Crafts. It's artwork based off Victoria Francis. This is chaos. Should get to. So I've been filling in the curtains, so like there were a whole bunch of missing stitches in here, so I've just been filling all of that in so that we have like a nice chunk that's done. Plus I've been doing some more of this part, which is like the dude's hair, it's the dude's ear, And I've been like sort of filling in some of this section up here too. So we're getting there. I did almost 400 stitches on Friday. Yesterday I did like 200 something. I still have to put them into my spreadsheet. I haven't done that yet. But I will. And I'm going to work on this again today/tonight. And we'll see. Like, I'm not going for a number of stitches. I'm just going for vibes. So whenever I decide to put this down and pick something else up. The other 4 whip goes that I've got to catch up on. For February, I need to restart Sylvanas, because Sylvanas was called in January. I had the mishap with the fabric, ordered new fabric, and then Sylvanas got called again for Sylvanas got called in January for a new start. I had the mishap with the fabric, which I still have, so if anyone is still interested in a piece of 32 count Belfast on that Vampire colorway, I can send you better photos. I'm open for a trade, honestly. But I had the mishap with the fabric, and then it got called again in February, and I was like, fuck you. So I have 2 Whipco calls to catch up on for this one, for the new start. So that's on my list for next month, probably, because I don't think it'll happen today or tomorrow. The March calls were for Fall of Arthas, which is my big stained glass one, which I'll put a photo up of. I don't want to pull it out. And then also Phantom of the Opera was pulled as well for March, so that will come out. I've got the stuff Stitch for Pride on the list as well. And then my whip go for April is going to be Ravenkin and Besna, which I'm just going to put photos up because it's a lot. That is my mirror one, so I can do that one. And I'm going to get the wolf kit out so I can show the progress on that. I did do a little bit more stitching on the Flossy Fox stitch along, because I took that with me as well, but not a lot. I didn't do a whole lot of stitching while I was gone. Like, I reckon like maybe 800 to 1,000 stitches overall, outside of the retreat. Wolf kit. So all, like, pretty much all of this section now is all filled in. There's a couple of loose stitches on the wolf over here, just in this section here. So like here, these 2 stitches here are missing, and then there's a couple there. There's a lot that is filled in, but it doesn't look like it's filled in because they're like half stitches in white because it's the snow. But then I did all of this here, and like I filled in this section here, so a reasonable amount considering I hate this project. I really do. I hate stitching on it. It's such a pain. But we did stitch on it. And then we have my mirrors. So I've got 3 mirrors in this bag because it's a big bag. So the one that I started before I went, was Eva. If I've got I should have a photo. If I have a photo of where she was up to, I'll put that in. But this is the stitching. This is where she's up to now. This fabric is, I believe it's My Island Home by Color Cascade. And that is showing up fairly accurately. It is a bright ass blue. So she's going to look awesome on that. I'm doing all of the Bewitching Pixies on a blue fabric. They're all different blue fabrics too. So I did a little bit on her, and then about halfway through the day I decided to switch it up, and I started the Baker's Wife. So the fucking stickers, plastic noises. I'm gonna have to do this whole thing out anyway. So Baker's Wife looks like this. It's the Mary Antoinette let them have cake kind of moment. I pulled this fabric out and everyone was like, what the fuck? which I loved. Like, I love this fabric. So this is Welcome to the Jungle by Color Cascades. This is all 18 count. I mostly stitch on 18 count. And we made a middle start. I wanted to get some of the flower colors in there as well. Because I wanted to see, like, I wanted to just make sure those colors were gonna pop, and it's gonna look so fucking good on this fabric, hey. So that is what I got done. There's like 4 or 5 colors in there. I mean, like, I looked at it and I'm like, oh, there's not a lot of stitching, but it kind of is, Like, I'm too self-critical. I'm definitely a process stitcher. But then, like, I think I just compare myself to everybody else too much, whereas, like, a lot of other people only worked on one project for the whole weekend, so they got heaps done. I think our table got the most stitching done overall. But that's Eva, so that's what Eva is going to look like eventually. So I got up to, like, the little black part on the bodice up the top. And I also started, I finally started Raven Queen. Unfortunately, I bought an embellishment pack for this when I bought this. Can I find the embellishment pack? No. Can I find where I put those fucking water lilies? No. I started this in the middle because I don't like having to do the math part of, like, working out where the bottom and the tops and stuff are if I don't have to. For a full coverage, it's easier. For something like this, it's not. So I just didn't. The dress is mostly fucking water lilies. So I've only done black on this project. So I didn't work on this one for as long as the other two, but I did start it. And I had to try and find those water lilies, or I have to get some more. But this is a piece of Black Hole Sun. And this goes this way. So we have a small start. There are a few people that finished projects while they were there. But yeah, so that's what I've got. Well, does it go the other way? I don't remember which way. It's fine. I'll work it out the next time I pull the project out. But yeah, we have a start. And again, like, lots of compliments on my fabric, which I'm always happy with, because I love it when people, like, look at my fabric like, what the fuck? Yeah. So I've lost the water lilies. What I really liked too is my housemate's got a 3D printer, so I asked him to 3D print me these. These are some floss drops, but, like, they're ones that you can, like, wrap the floss around. So if I do this, you have a section you can put a sticker, and you tie your floss onto the thing, and you can, like, wrap it around here. Or you've got, like, little hooks that you can wrap it around as well. Like, yeah. These things are great. I put all of my mirror flosses for these 3 projects that were not 310 or the blanks and, like, B5200s, into here. So I had a limited amount, but I knew I wouldn't get through that many stitches, because previous retreat stitching tells me that I don't stitch the whole much at retreat. So yeah. I also survived the perfume incident. So I had a bottle of perfume from Lush, and, like, do I have one? Yeah. So I use these. They're the body spray perfumes from Lush. They're really good. I had one that's got, like, a stopper on it, so you just, like, flip the stopper around and it doesn't depress, so it can't do that. Well, on the flight from Melbourne to Brisbane, they must have dropped my bag at a certain angle with a certain amount of force on it that it broke it, and the perfume went through my bag. Thankfully, it didn't ruin anything. I had to air out all of my project bags for a couple of days. None of the fabric or anything, none of the fabric, none of the patterns, none of that. That was all fine. So I got very, very, very lucky. It just meant that my projects all smelled a little. But yeah, that's, where did I put the bookmark? Oh god, where did I put the bookmark? Oh god, that's gonna be a whole thing. Oh wait, no, wait, found it. We're okay. We're all good. Found the bookmark. But yes, that is the chaos stitching, I guess, holiday recap, retreat recap. Yeah. It was a good retreat. I will definitely look into doing it again. I forgot to take my finished Noras, so like the Bewitching Pixies that I've already finished. I had it on my list of things to pack, but because my bag was getting so full, I kind of abandoned the list and just embraced the chaos. And yeah, as a consequence, I forgot to pack the finished mirrors to put on the finished table. Like I said, I didn't take any footage of the actual day or anything like that. I just kind of vibed. Why is my BattleNet? The BattleNet just popped up and like, oh, logging you in. What? But yeah, so we've got lots of WIPGO to catch up on. So I probably won't be working on small projects. Oh, Minecraft beats. I was gonna pull that out. Look, I promise I'm okay. I believe. Did I put it in the Minecraft bag? No, I haven't yet. I'm intending to put it in the Minecraft bag. I think it might... I don't know which bag I put it in. Oh, God. I'm prepared. This is fine. Like... It'll be in one of these. I don't think it's in that one. It's in that one. Okay. So, I mean, I've got it here. Okay, my Blizzard's gone weird for a second. I don't know. I'll do that later. I'm ready tonight, so I need to be able to log in. So Flossie Fox, Stitch Along, progress. I finished part 3. So part 3 is all the filled in pieces. All these outlines that I'm doing is part 4 or 5. It's one of them. So I started doing that. That's actually why I had to go to Morris & Sons, because I ran out of the purple, I think. So I went to Morris & Sons because I knew they stocked DMC at the very least. They had a little bit of cross-stitch stuff, but they were mostly, the one I went to is mostly like knitting and yarn. But I managed to not buy any. I just bought the tapestry one. So Minecraft Bees is in here. This is a new start. The pattern is by Colorfully Sarah. So this fabric is Clouds on Opal, and it's 18 count. It's by Color Cascades. So we have Minecraft bees. We have the little flowers, and like I really love it. It's just really cute. I fucking love Minecraft, and I love Minecraft bees. And I have Minecraft lights now. My partner and my Metamore both got me a different creeper light, so like one of them is set up there, but like look at this. It's super cute. So I have creeper lights. I started to do a little bit more on Home is Where the Heart Is by... Who's this one by? Black Walt Stitching. I did a little bit on it, but not a lot before I put it away. I didn't touch Karamea by Witchy Stitcher, which is the other one that I took with me on the holiday. And I did do a little bit more. It's not in here because it's I've made it my work project now. But one of the Satsuma Street kits, I've got the spider with the green legs. I did some of that as well. So we did a little bit of stitching. I did a little bit of stitching. Not as much as I thought, but like I took a bunch. Whatever I worked on, I worked on. I was honestly just kind of out and about. I got spoiled food-wise. Food was so good, like, everywhere. I... Because, like, the hotel that I booked in Melbourne had a little kitchenette. I only cooked, like, I had stuff that I could cook and, like, eat and stuff like that, which was good. I did do that to save a bit of money. But honestly, eating out was also just really good because there were lots of really good places. The first place that I ate in Melbourne was like this really fancy Italian place, and they had some of the best arancini that I've had. They were really, really good. So I had arancini and I had lasagna, and it was really good. So then I made, the first place that I ate in Brisbane was also an Italian place, but it was gnocchi, and they also did really good arancini as an entree, and it was just, I was so happy. There was so much arancini everywhere, because I can't find good arancini where I am. I'd like to be able to find like a deli that makes them so that I could freeze them and then just like use them, because like they'd be a really easy lunch. You could just throw them in the air fryer for a few minutes and heat them up, but I've not found one yet. That would be the goal. I fucking love arancini. I will not make them. It is far too much work for me to handle, to make them. I have done it before. I won't again. I just don't have that kind of spoons. Don't have the spoons. Oh, my makeup things fell. But yeah, that is, I think, where we're at. Don't think I have anything else. I have a bunch of cleaning I still need to do. I'm like 95% unpacked. Some of this stuff has got to go, whether they're going to go into like pattern stash and stuff like that. The fabrics have got to be photographed and added to my catalogue still, but that will happen sometime in the next few days. I tend to do a lot of my cross-stitch admin, it turns out, at like 1 o'clock in the morning when I can't sleep, so that'll happen at some point. Apart from that, I just have like a fuckload of stitching to do. Oh, and I am thinking about changing my channel name because I didn't have enough on my plate. So I'm playing with the idea of something like, I don't know if I want to do like Gothy's Goblin stitching, because like I do a little bit of blogging when I do my Flosstube updates, I guess, but like it's not quite the same thing, so like the name doesn't quite make sense now. So I'm thinking either Gothy's Goblin stitching or Goblin stitching or Chaos Goblin stitching. I don't know. Some kind of variation of that is the vibe now. I don't know. If you have thoughts, opinions, if you made it this far in, let me know. I don't know. I'm still tossing it up. But yeah, that is a current brainworm. Is, do I change the name of my channel? But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna clean this up. I'm going to... I haven't eaten today. I should go have food. Should go do that. Do some stitching. I've got raid later that I've got to get ready for. I've got to do flask cauldrons. So I gotta do that. And might just do some gaming and stitching. I think that's the vibe. Do some more work on Almost Time, which I went to grab and realized it's underneath the pile of stuff. I'm good at this. I will see you in a few weeks. What I might do is once I finish editing the photos, I might just put up like a little thing of like, have a look at some shit that I saw while I was away, and we'll do that. I don't think I got much on the way of video. We'll find out. I'm going through it all. Like I said, I'm still doing the wedding stuff. I've got some videos from the wedding that I need to do, because I did video the vows and stuff, because like being bridal party, like I was right there. However, I cry at weddings. I can't not cry, apparently. So I need to make sure that there aren't sounds of me just sobbing in the background before I let anyone see or hear. Or like try and get those sounds out. We'll find out. We'll find out. But I'm gonna go. So I hope if you did stitching, let me know. Like, tell me how many stitches you did and what you worked on, and thoughts on channel name, because I'm indecisive and can't make a decision on my own. But I'll see you next time.